Yo, what's good, man? Man, I just jumped on here to give Terence Crawford his props. Everybody say the man ain't did nothing. Say the man ain't fought nobody at welterweight. And he steps up against Sean Porter, a widely known as a top five welterweight in this boxing community. And Bud delivered, man. Bud delivered, man. And the fight lived up to the hype all the way. So props to both of them and Top Rank for putting this fight on. Now to start off the fight, Sean Porter, he was picking his spots. He was pressuring Bud. Of course, he couldn't pressure Bud as much as he did Errol Spence. You know what I'm saying? Because Terence Crawford, he's very long and he's a good counter puncher, man. And I went with Bud decision before the fight because I thought nobody could stop Sean Porter. You know what I'm saying? So I gave Porter the first 3 rounds. I think it's debatable on that second round. I rewatched the fight this morning, but yeah, this was a dog fight. It was a dog fight. Bud had to download some information for about 3 or 4 rounds, so Porter jumped out to a lead. But man, when Bud got right and got his timing down packed, it was over with, man. Sean Porter was rushing in. Bud was catching him with that left hand to the body. Beautiful left hand to the body, man. He was knocking Sean off balance with that left hook. Knocked him down with that left hook. That was the first knockdown. And that left hook, it looked like it wanted to go to the body too. But Sean ducked at the same time as he threw it, so his head caught it, so he got knocked down to the head. But yeah, though, man, this fight looked like, man, two pit bulls fighting over some meat, man, in the alley, fighting over a steak. You know what I'm saying? Because when he get hit with a nice shot, he want that back, and that's what he was trying to do. And I thought that would play in the Porter's favor a little bit. And Porter, he had a game plan, but he didn't have no plan B. And plus, he gassed out. And when he slowed down, his punches became slower. You know what I'm saying? He was head hunting too much. Porter abandoned the body. Bud's skill set just showed throughout this whole fight how he can use his reach, his accurate punching. Man, Bud, his punch placement was way better than Sean Porter. Sean Porter's was good at first, for the first couple of rounds, but as he faded, his punches started getting more wild and all that. So he started getting countered more and more. You know what I'm saying? Because at first he was doing good, getting in and out on Bud, so he was winning rounds. You know what I'm saying? Bud couldn't catch him with that counter left hook at first, but as Porter slowed down, it was like target practice for Bud, man. Bud just seemed like he couldn't miss, man, as the later that fight went on. You know what I'm saying? And the stoppage was a little iffy to me. Kenny Porter didn't give Sean Porter a chance, you know. He like, I don't know, man. It just seemed like he treats Sean Porter like a little ass boy. You know what I'm saying? The man's 33 years old. And he threw him under the bus, talking about the man didn't train or none of that shit. And he was just separating himself. I told him you know what I'm saying? Trying to deflect the blame. You know what I'm saying? Y'all supposed to be a team. So y'all supposed to take the fall as a team. Say we didn't prepare right. We didn't get this. We didn't get that. See, a lot of people, you can't go your whole career with your father as your trainer. You're gonna have to separate and go learn different styles other places. You know what I'm saying? Sean Porter had no plan B. And that's how I looked at it in all his losses. No plan B. Just try to pressure, 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 pressure. And his output was lower than usual in this fight. You know what I'm saying? But it was a hell of an effort from him. Like I said, I had him up on the scorecards early, but when Bud took over, he took over. He looked like he won like 4, 5 rounds in a row. So I had Bud up 5-4 at the time of the knockout. But I just wanted to give Bud his props, man. He showed that he was the shit that night. Everybody wanted to see the man in the ring with a top welterweight. Say the man ain't did nothing. And he did what the whole boxing world wanted him to do. The man fired Bob Arum on the spot at the post presser. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Bob couldn't get me the fights when I was with him. How he gonna get them for me when I ain't with him? Fuck him. I'm going on with my career. Straight up, man. Fuck Bob Arum, what he talking about, dog. Bob Arum talked all that shit like Bud was just a nobody. You got the fucking you arguably the most talented fighter in the world, and you talking shit like you don't want to promote the man. But he steady talking that shit about that Josh Taylor fight. You losing so much money. Why you steady trying to make fights with the man? That's what I don't get. But Errol Spence was at the fight. Errol Spence left the crowd uh like right at the end of the fight. You know what I'm saying? He was disgusted with Kenny Porter. Errol Spence even tweeted, "Man, don't pay his ass, Porter." I ain't gonna lie, man. Like Sean Porter daddy, he dictate too much shit for him. It's like it's either his way or no way. You know what I'm saying? Sean Porter, he probably had too much guilt in his heart to leave his dad for another trainer like a Ronnie Shields or a Derrick James or a Bomac or something like that. Sean just don't got it in him. You know what I'm saying? The shit was just crazy though. I love this fight. And Sean Porter, he was walking into a lot of stuff, man. Like I say, as the fight got late, his punches got slower, he got tired, and he just went to catching them things. And I knew Sean Porter's style overall would cause him to get caught, but I just didn't think the knockout would come. And at the beginning of the fight, he was touching Bud a lot. All throughout this fight, to be honest, he was landing some nice right hands. You know what I'm saying? He was catching. It was some exchanges where his punches were more accurate than Bud's. That was surprising to me. It looked like Bud was getting used to being in there with a top welterweight. You know what I'm saying? He had to really adjust to that. But Terence Bud Crawford, he a free agent, man. Ain't no telling who he gonna fight next. He gonna fight who he wanna fight next. That's what I'm saying. And I always liked that Bud's energy. You know what I'm saying? Because he seemed like he always wanted the fights. So I think that he gonna do the right thing with his free agency, and he's finna give us some hella fights. If it's not Errol Spence next, which I don't really expect Errol Spence to really jump in that water with Bud right now. You know what I'm saying? Coming off that eye injury, he don't want to tune up, but the sanctioning bodies and shit might make him do a tune up. He got a foreign dude that's his mandatory for the IBF. IBF always be stepping in the middle of shit, handing out mandatory, making people do mandatories and shit. But I feel like we closer to getting Spence and Crawford. We getting closer to that fight. But Bud, he's already a Hall of Famer, and this is a statement performance in his third weight division. And now he not on the wrong side of the street now. So now we gonna see who ducking who. Bud got to get in his media. He got to apply pressure to these dudes if he really want these fights. Tell Thurman get out here. Tell everybody. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I just wanted to give Bud his props though. He did his thing, 10th round knockout.